begin asymptomatic testing.
Several student organizations at FGCU
and we're going to play Guess the Song.
Hello, welcome to Hanging with the Executives here at the Bauer School of Music.
And you're watching ENTV.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Hard Hitters. I'm your host this week, Nick Aslin, joined with
Kevin Rollins,
Ryan Israel.
So we're back finally with the NFL playoffs with the wild card round. But before we get into our picks, we just want to say we are very, very glad to see that Damar Hamlin is doing better. It was such a scary incident, and I think the NFL really did a good job with everything there and making sure he was okay. What do you guys else have to say about that?
Definitely nothing we wanted to see. Happened during a huge game, the Bills-Bengals Week 17. Everyone was watching for huge playoff implication. Suddenly, the player goes down. We thought it's your usual injury, but then we see all those Bills players they're just looking complete stunned, and we realized that a player was essentially dying on the field. But we're all very happy he is doing well. I don't know if he'll play football again, but he won the game of life. That's what's important.
You just can't give enough thanks to the medical staff. They got there and they were administering CPR in under a minute, and you really can't value how much that helped them.
All right, well, on to our picks now. For the first game of Wild Card Weekend, Saturday, we have NFC West Division matchup, the Seahawks versus the 49ers. Seahawks getting in courtesy of my Green Bay Packers just forgetting how to play football and letting the Lions win. So I'm just going to take it right out of the gate. 49ers are just going to demolish them here. I got 49ers.
I think this is not really going to be close either. The Seahawks, it's not yet for them. So I think the Niners will take this with ease.
The 49ers have the best offensive weapons in football, the best linebacker in football, and the number one defense in football, along with a top 3 head coach in football. They're not losing to the Seahawks. Pete Carroll's great. Kenneth Walker's great. That's not enough. 49ers are going to win by a lot.
All right, I guess we're all pretty much in agreement here. So our next matchup, we have the Chargers versus the Jags. First playoff games for both Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence. What do you guys think here?
It's hard to beat a team multiple times in 1 year. I think this game is going to be a lot closer. The bank, they don't call it bank anymore, but yeah, the city of Jacksonville, Duval County is going to be rocking. Chargers do have to travel there. Jaguars do also have an extra day of rest because they play on Saturday. I think the Jags do it again. They become one of the most lovable teams throughout the year, going from worst to first, and they're essentially an agent of chaos.
I don't know if I can trust Brandon Staley to win a playoff game, especially in the atmosphere that is Clowntown. And Jags fans haven't seen the playoffs in quite a while, and now they're in the playoffs with an actual really good quarterback and Super Bowl caliber head coach. So I'm taking the Jaguars.
Yeah, pretty much the same reason for me. I'm taking the Jags, and I think that this will be the end of Brandon Staley leading the Chargers if they lose this game, which I'm predicting they will. So now on to Sunday. Kevin, I think this might be the end for you. Dolphins versus Bills in Buffalo. No Tua. Skylar Thompson, is he gonna lead you guys to the victory?
Well, first things first, it was definitely not the way I hoped the season would go. Last time we met in Hard Hitters Dolphins, they only lost one game at the 49ers. It was a tough loss, bit respectable loss at the time, but turns out we didn't know that the Dolphins would go from no loss November to destroy the season December and lost a bunch of games in a row. Proud of my boys for good season. One last victory chain. I got me a new jersey for Christmas too, but these Bills were projected to be the Super Bowl favorites, and they're still looking like it. And it was a good run, but maybe next year.
The good thing about the Shanahan system that the Dolphins run, with Mike McDaniel, is that your quarterback typically doesn't matter that much when you have good offensive weapons, which the Dolphins definitely have. Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Jeff Wilson, That being said, Bills. The Bills. There's no competition in this game.
Yep. I'm going to make it another clean sweep. I have the Bills here as well. Sorry, Kevin. Moving on, we have the Giants versus the Vikings. I think this is the week that the Vikings finally get fully exposed for being frauds, and I'm rocking with the Giants this week. I think they get that win that they nearly got a couple weeks ago in Minnesota.
I think the Giants, though, they come into Minnesota and they also pull off the stunner.
I'm going to have to disagree with you guys. So, the Vikings all season have been able to keep most games very close and win by one score. I think that it's going to be a very close game. It's going to be a very exciting game. It's going to end with a game-winning field goal for the Vikings at home, and they're going to go to the NFC Divisional Round.
All right, another bold prediction. Our next matchup, we have the Ravens versus the Bengals. We don't have Carson with us this week, but... Oh, hold on. Oh, Carson's calling.
Hey Nick, sorry I couldn't make it today, but I thought I'd give you a quick call just to give you my thoughts on the Bengals-Ravens wild card game. But first off, before I say anything, I want to say as a Bengals fan, based on what happened in that Monday night game, nothing but love and support and prayers for Damar Hamlin. It makes me so happy that he's out of the hospital and he's walking around with family and getting to go to the Bills facility and stuff. I mean, that was one of the scariest things I've ever seen happen on live television, if not the scariest thing I've ever seen happen on live television, especially at an NFL game. So to see him recover has been wonderful, and as a Bengals fan and someone who's also very partial to the Bills, it was great to see how quickly they were able to react and save his life, because life matters so much more than the game of football. So glad that he's doing okay. But in terms of the Bengals-Ravens this weekend, I have some other picks for the other games, but I'll just put them at the bottom of the screen. But Bengals-Ravens, this is going to be a blowout, okay? The Ravens have a tough defense, sure, and you can look at last week and say, oh, the Bengals, they sucked, they dropped off in the second half. Yeah, we did drop off in the second half because guess what? We stopped calling the plays we're going to call this week. I think we did a very limited playbook, in my opinion. We were just taking deep shots down the middle and running the ball straight at the defensive line for no reason. Once we got up that 24-3 lead, I think we're like, all right, we'll just coast to the win. We won't show them our playbook. We won't show them what we're drawing up because we pretty much knew we were going to have to be playing them this week. But I want to give a special shout out to the NFL, and this is a sarcastic shout out because we lost a couple key players to injury, most notably Alex Kappa, right guard, and we lost him to probably the entire playoffs due to injury in a game that he really shouldn't have had to be playing in if the NFL had not absolutely screwed the Bengals with their playoff scenario fix-it thing with the coin toss, and we could have lost home field advantage. That was absolutely ridiculous. So shout out to the NFL for that. But in terms of the game this week, whether it's Lamar Jackson, which it sounds like it's not going to be, it's most likely going to be Tyler Huntley for the Ravens. I don't see any reason why the Bengals lose this game. We're missing some key players, sure, but we've been missing key players all year, and we just kept winning, and we will just keep winning. I'm not scared of Tyler Huntley. I'm not scared of J.K. Dobbins. I'm not scared of the XFL wide receiver room the Ravens have. The Bengals defense will get stuff done. Joe Burrow was mad at himself after his performance last week, and there is nothing more dangerous in the NFL than an angry Joe Burrow. So Ravens, pray for yourselves. Bengals are going to win.
All right. Thank you, Carson, for your input. Hopefully the Bengals do good. All right, so Ravens versus Bengals. Who do you guys got?
Shout out to Carson, too, even though he's not here with us. He kind of predicted the Dolphins' downfall. I'll speak to him more later. The Ravens, though, they're in the same situation as the Dolphins, as their starting quarterback is out. Lamar Jackson, unable to play this week, was unable to play the final few games of the season. Again, the Bengals, they had another great year. They had some hiccups at the start of the year, but they've been looking like the Bengals of last year. They are the new Bengals. But, yeah, the starting quarterback issue is going to make a huge difference. The Ravens, maybe they should also get their act and pay Lamar Jackson like they also just pay Roquan Smith. I think the Bengals should take this in one of those games that won't really be a contest.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that. Bengals going to take this game. No contest. Greg Roman is not good. Pro Bowl alternate Tyler Huntley is questionable for this game, I believe. So we may see another, third-string quarterback appear in the playoffs this year with Anthony Brown, who is not good. I don't think there's a world in which anyone can genuinely believe that the Ravens can somehow win this game. So, Bengals by 80.
Yeah, I agree. I think Lamar Jackson's probably played his last game as a Raven. You mentioned it. They paid Roquan Smith like $100 million. Like, Lamar ain't getting none of that. That dude's probably gone. I don't think he wants anything to really do with the Ravens anymore. All right, so our last game for Wild Card Weekend, Monday night, Cowboys versus Ryan's Bucs. Do you think Tom Brady makes it 8-0 against the Cowboys?
Of course he makes it 8-0. Dak Prescott leads the league in interceptions after only playing in 12 games. That is absurd. Really, their best offensive weapon right now is CeeDee Lamb, but half the time Dak is throwing it up to him, it's going to end up in the hands of a Buccaneers player. Now, the Cowboys front office doesn't realize who their best running back is, so they're going to be feeding Ezekiel Elliott the ball the entire time instead of Tony Pollard, so we don't really have to worry about that. Also, people forget, Tom Brady gets magic superpowers whenever he goes to the playoffs. He won't lose to the Cowboys for the first time in the playoffs at home. Come on, we're going to become the first team with a losing regular season record to win the Super Bowl. Bucs.
There's a famous quote by Stephen Naismith. Just wait. Don't let you down in due time. I think the time has come for the Cowboys, actually. They always go into the playoffs and they find the most Cowboys-like way to lose a game.
QB draw.
Yes, QB. Yes. Last year they ran a QB draw up the middle, and they ran out of time when they were trying to go for a game-winning drive. And they'll find a way to lose to a team with a losing record. The Buccaneers, you guys are still alive for now.
How about them Cowboys? I'm not rocking with them. I'm going with the Bucs. As much as I don't really want the Bucs to win, I really don't want the Cowboys to win. And I think Stephen A. Smith is going to be celebrating come Tuesday morning on First Take. All right. So that's our predictions for the wild card round. Hopefully we got them all right. We will see you guys next week for the divisional round.